am Madam Gracious Kanzieni from Educare, Tanzania. I'm here in front of you so we can make the discussion on our chemistry subject, and our main concern is making the revision of the different question. But specifically, we are going to proceed with our topic, which is last topic for Form 3 level, known as Compounds of Metals Part 2. So my student, for today, our discussion, we are going to deal with the question number 11. Question number 11. I want to remind you this. Make sure you have a good follow-up in our media so as you can enjoy and you can benefit all the discussed question in a good series. Kwa sababu haya maswali yapo mengi sana. Tulianza kuanzia na exercise 10.1, 10.2, exercise 10.3, then tukaanza kufanya discussion yale maswali ambayo yanakuwa generalized as the revision exercise. So here my student, we are going to discuss our question. So I need your attention so as you can understand something here. Okay, the question number 11 states that study the following scheme and answer the questions that follow. So you are given the scheme, this one. This is a simple demonstration or the simple diagram which illustrates the different formation of the compound under a different condition. So here, as you see, we have this box 1, 2, 3 and 4. So kila box lina it's given, lakini pia kwenye box moja kwenda box jingine kulingana na direction ya mshale tunaona kwamba kuna conditions. Kuna condition mbalimbali. As you see here, tuna box hili hapa, the arrow pointing this side, then we have this box. So you can see that here we have the compound A, or we have the element A, which is solid in nature, which exists in a solid state. But this compound A or element A, tunaona kwamba ilienda kutengeneza colorless gas C, colorless gas C, kwamba gesi ambayo ilikuwa observed haina rangi yoyote, colorless gas. Tunajua kwamba some of the gases we are observing the brown fume, kuna rangi tofauti tunazo observe kulingana na gesi ambayo ina escape kwenye reaction fulani, lakini hii gesi ilikuwa ni colorless, haina rangi yoyote. Lakini hii compound A ambayo ilikuwa ni metal solid ilikuwa imeundergo reaction at concentrated sulfuric acid. Ina maana kwa namna nyingine ni kwamba huyu element ambaye ni solid ali undergo reaction under condition of this conc acid ambayo ni sulfuric acid kwenda kutupatia hii colorless gas ambayo ni gesi C. Okay, and also you can see that this compound or element A ili dissolve kwenye water ikawa in aqueous, ikawa in aqueous. So ilipokuwa in solution tunaona kwamba ili react with another aqueous or another ions, ambayo ni silver ions. Ili react with the silver ions kwenda kutengeneza kitu ambacho ni white precipitate, au tunaweza tukasema white PPT, ambapo inajulikana kama compound D. So hii ndio scheme ambayo umepewa. Sasa kulingana na hii scheme kuna maswali tofauti tofauti ambayo yana relate na hili swali. Okay, now let us see those questions and finally we are going to see the responses toward our question. So I hope the scheme is clear. Kwa hiyo tunapoenda kwenye maswali moja kwa moja, I hope no any confusion. Okay, now we have part A. Part A of our question states that identify the metal salt labeled A. Kwamba this kind of metal salt A, kumbe hii ilikuwa ni salt. Sasa tunaambiwa tu identify A ni kitu gani. Lakini pia anakuambia part B, our question states that identify the colorless gas labeled C. Kwamba ile A ilivyokuwa ni solid state ili undergo reaction at a condition of conc sulfuric acid kwenda kutengeneza the colorless gas ambayo ilikuwa labeled as C. So here is your task to identify what is that colorless gas. Kwa hiyo wewe mwanafunzi unatakiwa recall the concept, what happened when the metal ikireact na this sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid inaenda kurelease gesi gani, ndipo utaweza kufanya identification of the colorless gas C. Lakini part C of our question anasema kwamba what is the white precipitate labeled D? What is the white precipitate labeled D? Kwa hiyo mean that the main concern of our question, we are required to make the identification of the given compounds or the unknown compounds in our scheme. Sasa unapoangalia hili swali utaweza kufanya identification of this compound. A ni kitu gani, C ni kitu gani, D ni kitu gani, kulingana na the this initial given materials au given properties. Kwa mfano colorless gas, colorless gas C utaweza kuidentify kulingana na this initial material ambayo ili react na compound hii hapa. Lakini pia utakuja kujua compound A ni kitu gani kulingana na the reaction iliyotokea kwenda kutengeneza hizi product. Na hapa product ya mwisho ambayo ni part D kwenye scheme yetu tumeambiwa ni white precipitate. So the white precipitate utakuja kuijua baada ya kujua kwamba hii compound A ikireact na silver ion tunaenda kupata kitu gani, kwamba ili ni pate white PPT huyu silver ta react na kitu gani. So it will be easy for you to make the identification of each given unknown compound or element. Kwa hiyo hii D tutaijua kulingana na ile feature ambayo ilikuwa displayed baada ya reaction between A and this is silver ions. Okay, now my student, I hope those explanation is enough for you. Okay, now let us see our responses. Specifically let us start with part A ambapo tunataka kufanya identification or identify the metal salt labeled A. Okay, now to identify the metal salt labeled A, we need to analyze the reaction provided in the scheme. So we have to make the analysis. We have to analyze the scheme, the reactions provided in the scheme. So the first reaction involves the concentrated sulfuric acid reacting with the substance ambayo ilikuwa ni A, ambayo ilikuwa in form of solid state, so to produce the colorless gas C. Kwamba reaction ya kwanza kabisa ilikuwa ni ya nani? Ya compound A au ya unknown salt A ambayo ilikuwa ni solid state, ikareact with the concentrated sulfuric acid kwenda kuproduce the colorless gas C. Kwa hiyo analysis tunaanza kuifanyia hapa kwenye reaction ya kwanza. So the second reaction show that A ambapo alikuwa kwenye aqueous, kwa sababu tuliona kutoka A alivyokuwa kwenye in solid state alikuwa converted kwenda kutengeneza A ambayo alikuwa kwenye aqueous, mean that alitengeneza those ions. So anasema the second reaction show that A which was aqueous react with the silver ions, this one, to form a white precipitate ambayo ilikuwa represented as D. So the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid suggests that A is likely a metal salt that can react with the sulfuric acid to produce a gas. So this is just the prediction, or we can say that we have to suggest kwamba okay, presence of concentrated sulfuric acid ina suggest kwamba uwepo wa ile conc sulfuric acid ni ishara ya kwamba A is likely a metal salt, kwamba A ilikuwa ni metal salt that can react with that sulfuric acid to produce a gas. Kwa hiyo kumbe tunaweza kujua kwamba kumbe ile A ilikuwa ni nini? Ni salt, metal salt. Ina maana ni salt ambayo ipo associated na metal fulani ambayo ikireact na sulfuric acid conc one inaenda kutureleasea nini, au inaenda kutupatia gas ambayo hiyo gesi ina sifa za kuwa colorless. Okay, now let us proceed. So common salt that fit this description include the sulfides and carbonate, kwamba the metal salt. Kwa hiyo metal carbonate, metal sulfate itafiti hiyo description. Okay, now However, since we are looking for a specific metal salt that produces a colorless gas upon reaction with the concentrated sulfuric acid, we can consider the sodium bicarbonate. Kwa sababu kumbuka tunaangalia ile specific metal salt ambayo ilireact na ile conc sulfuric acid kwenda kutupatia colorless gesi C. Sasa ili tuweze kupata hiyo colorless gesi C, what metal salt ambayo tutaikisia au inaweza ikawa ina fit kwenye hiyo description au kwenye hayo maelezo. So particularly ambayo itafiti hapa ni sodium bicarbonate, au kwa namna moja tunaweza tukasema sodium hydrogen carbonate, which produce carbon dioxide gas when reacted with the acid. However, given the context of the producing a white precipitate with this silver ion, so it is more likely that A is sodium chloride. Asa katika maelezo ambayo tulikuwa nayo, obvious tungesema kwamba likely metal salt ambayo ingeweza kureact na ile concentrated sulfuric acid tungesema ni sodium bicarbonate. But you can see that depending on the given context, kwamba kumbuka swali lako limekupa some of the features. Kumbuka tuliambiwa kwamba ile metal salt ili react na silver ion kwenda kutengeneza precipitate. Lazima tutafute metal salt ambayo itafit ile formation of the precipitate. So what is that? Obvious, instead of dealing with the sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium carbonate ambayo ingefit description, kwamba simple salt, metal salt ambayo ingefit pale ingekuwa ni metal of the sulfate or metal of carbonate, lakini kulingana na ile features of the precipitate ambayo itaenda kuzalishwa at the end of that scheme, utaona kwamba it's more likely that A is sodium chloride. Why sodium chloride? Because metal salt ambayo sodium chloride itadissociate kwenye aqueous pale. Ikidissociate tutaona kwamba tutakuwa na chlorine ion and sodium ion. Hasa zile chlorine ion zitaenda kureact with the silver ion ambazo tumepewa kwenye ile scheme yetu. Finally itaenda kutupelekea itaenda kutupatia ile silver chloride, which is insoluble compound ambayo ina display ile white precipitate. So you can see that when sodium dissolve in water, it dissociates into sodium ion and chlorine ion, and the reaction of sodium chloride with the concentrated sulfuric acid would yield the hydrogen chloride gas. Kwamba ile reaction ya huyu sodium chloride with the concentrated sulfuric acid itayield this HCl as a gas, hydrogen chloride gas, which is colorless. So hydrogen chloride gas, it is colorless gas. Kwa hiyo kumbe ile A ilikuwa ni sodium chloride. At the same time, sodium chloride ikiwa exist in solid, unaona kwamba ikireact na concentrated sulfuric acid itaenda kutupatia the colorless gas ambayo ilikuwa indicated as letter C. Hasa colorless gas yetu ilikuwa ni nini? Ni hydrogen chloride gas. Kwa namna nyingine tunasema ni HCl. Lakini pia utaona kwamba at the same time huyu sodium chloride akidissolve in water, ambapo pale A ana exist kama aqueous, tunaona kwamba atakuwa ana release au ana dissociate into two ions, sodium positive charged ion, lakini pia na chlorine negative charged ion. So those chlorine zitatake part, zitareact na ile nani, yule given silver ion kwenda kutengeneza ile precipitate. So that's the metal salt labeled A is sodium chloride. So this is a simple identification. I hope it's clear for you. Kwa hiyo ile A ilikuwa ni sodium chloride. Now part B tuliambiwa tufanye identification of the colorless gas labeled C. So now it is very simple kwa sababu tushaanza kujua what happened. Okay, from our analysis in part A, when sodium chloride reacts with the concentrated sulfuric acid, it produces hydrogen chloride gas. Kwa hiyo obviously the hydrogen chloride is known to be a colorless gas at room temperature and pressure. Therefore, the colorless gas C produced from the reaction of A, which is installed plus concentrated sulfuric acid, is hydrogen chloride, hydrogen chloride gas. So this is colorless gas C. Kwa hiyo ungetaka tujue kwamba okay, hydrogen chloride gas ina display kitu gani, lakini pia kwa sababu tumeshajua A ni kitu gani, A tukireactisha na ile conc sulfuric acid tunaenda kurelease hichi kitu ambacho ni hydrogen chloride gas. Part C of our question is all about identification of the white precipitate labeled D. Sasa my student, I hope now ungeweza kufanya analysis tu ya ile part A, inakuwa ni urahisi sasa kufanya ana identification ya part nyingine zote, kwamba ungekosea part A obviously hata part nyingine ungekosea. So here you can see that in the second part of the scheme we see that A ambayo ilikuwa in form of aqueous, which is identified as the sodium chloride, tusha identify tayari. So react with the silver ion, this one, to form the white precipitate ambayo ilikuwa labeled as D. So you can see that the reaction between sodium chloride and silver nitrate lead to the formation of the silver chloride, so which is known for its characteristic white precipitate, kwamba silver chloride always na display the feature or the property of the precipitate nature. Kwa hiyo the white precipitate ilikuwa ni due to the formation of the what? Of the silver chloride. So therefore the white precipitate ambayo ilikuwa ni D formed from this reaction is silver chloride. Only that. Kwa hiyo utakuwa ufanye hizo identification from A, B, C. Kwa hiyo umeona kwamba analysis ya part A imekusaidia wewe kujua part nyingine zote through the analysis of part A, depending on the given scheme or that diagram, imekusaidia wewe kufanya identification ya part nyingine zote. Kwa hiyo that is all about our question, and that is how you was required to attempt this question. So my student, this is the end of our discussion. Make sure you apply this concept, this knowledge in your examination. Once you meet with this question, make sure una apply his skill. Lakini pia umeona haya maswali ya hii topic yanavyokuwa, yanakuwa na maelezo lakini pia unatakiwa uelewe zile features, zile properties zake. Kwa mfano case of color, case of chemical test, hizo mfano white precipitate, white PPT, colorless gas. So through their property, their feature is where you can able to interpret and provide your correct response. So my student, after there, I would like to say that this marks the end of our session. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for following our media. I would like to welcome you in the next discussion. Bye bye. Have a good time.